Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Simplynessa's video that she just dropped about Tana Mongeau. I'm never going to be able to know how to pronounce her last name. I'll learn it, I'll forget it months later.
We've been dancing for so long under the stars. I feel that the grass will cut through my skin.
Nessa just dropped a video and it's titled Dear Tana, and I just really want you guys to understand that people who make videos and they're talking about their past or things they've dealt with microaggressions or dealing with racism, it takes so much for them to actually do that. The entire process, filming it, sitting there and having to listen back to it and edit it, and then thinking to themselves, okay, I'm going to upload this. The entire process for them is complicated, is stressful, and I just want you to at least appreciate that. Because when you have to relive all those things, all the racism, it can trigger someone. So with that being said, I just really respect her for coming out and making this video. I know she watched Colin's video and I appreciate him as well for making that video, because maybe it kind of helped her realize that she has a platform too that she can speak out on and bring awareness. So with that being said, I'm just pretty much going to summarize her lengthy video. It's about 50 minutes, so I'm going to summarize it for you guys. Nessa starts out the video pretty much acknowledging the things that she has done wrong in the past. Clearly, you know, we're not all perfect. She's not perfect. But she does mention that she's sick of the double standards when it comes to these types of things. She mentions the fact that these white creators can do these racist things, they can say these racist things, and they can just keep going on with their life. And not only that, but those things tend to kind of get buried underground and then they continue to thrive. And when you think about it, I mean, Tana definitely has more of a following right now on YouTube than Nessa does, and I guess in a way we're coming up together. Tana was one of Nessa's first YouTube friends, so I mean that kind of gives you a picture of it. And with Nessa, she's never really been given that chance to grow from everything in her past. Personally, she's grown, but audience-wise, the people back then who used to watch her, I would say haven't given her the chance to grow from that situation compared to Tana. They've let Tana thrive. TanaCon's gone on and they've let her thrive after that. So there's just a difference with that. Nessa even goes in and she kind of mentions Jeffree and Shane, and she says if she were to do something like that, it would be handled completely different. And I agree with that, because not only is Nessa a woman, she's not white. So right there, Tana already has that on top of her. She's white. But not just that, Jeffree and Shane are white males in America. So that right there kind of gives you the tier of how people let those people come back, if that makes sense to you. So pretty much Shane and Jeffree are like, in this list, the worst of the four. And they have grown so much. Both of them, well, I mean, their YouTube channels are kind of going down right now, but they're both past 15 million subscribers. Then you have Tana, and then you have Nessa. And to be completely honest, out of all of them that I've watched, Nessa seems like the most down-to-earth, coolest, sincere person ever. I started watching her and I was like, wow, we like have so much in common. She lives in Arizona, she smokes. I live in Arizona, I smoke. So like, yeah, that's so much in common if you ask me. Nessa mentions that she sees everyone making a lot of videos now, coming out with their stories, and she wants to be a part of that. She wants to use her platform for the next girl that comes onto YouTube and looks like her. And clearly I don't look like her. I am biracial, and it is a struggle. I guess you wouldn't say a struggle, but it is complicated being biracial, living with your black mother your entire life. That's who raised me. And looking completely white to most people, having to always pull out my phone and show photos of my family to prove that I'm black. It's really, really complicated. And with that, sometimes it makes it difficult to say certain things. Sometimes I want to say something on my Instagram account, let's say, about the whole Black Lives Matter, and I don't know how to word it because I want to say us, we, but I know some people probably look at that and they're like, but you're not black. But I also feel like if I don't say us or we and I say them, they, theirs, I feel like that's disregarding the black side of my family, and I shouldn't do that. So it's like a difficult toss-up with not wanting to make people upset but also just wanting to be yourself. So I completely understood what Nessa was saying, and I really appreciated her. And she said, you know, after this video you're probably gonna see a whole nother side to her, and I'm excited because what I've seen already, I really vibe with it, so I'm excited to see what else can come from her. Nessa then goes on to talk about creators that are now reaching out to her after Colin uploaded his video. They're apologizing to her for thinking she was ever a piece of person because of what Tana and Jordan was pretty much feeding them, and a couple things with that. It's mind-boggling to me that people would only get this kind of information from Tana and Jordan and they would be like, okay, I'm gonna run with it, Nessa's crazy. Like, it just sends me back to high school with the amount of rumors that were spread about me, and not once did someone ever bring it up to my attention. But in reality, the people who are spreading these rumors, or they're being told these rumors and just running with it, they don't care to bring it to your attention because they don't care about you. So why would they want to actually know the truth? It's kind of like the whole Tati and James situation. All these things that Shane and Jeffrey were telling Tati, she simply could have just reached out to James. And I think she did say, you know, she tried to call him or message him, but girl, did you text him like, Jeffrey and Shane are saying that you're a predator? Can you actually call me because I think I'm gonna make a video? Because that type of text message would get my attention. It's just gossiping, he said, she said, and it's a whole high school thing, and we're all grown adults. Nessa takes it back to the very beginning on how it all started, and they both kind of did the same thing. They did story times. They kind of did different types of story times, but they still did story times. Therefore, they kind of had the same type of fan base. But both of their fan bases were commenting on both of each other's videos, whatever, and they're like, you guys should collab. So finally they slide into each other's DMs, they become friends, friendship forms out of that. And Jordan, this blew my mind finding out, Jordan initially was Nessa's manager. Tana and Nessa formed a friendship. Nessa introduced Jordan and Tana, and she said instantly Jordan signed Tana. And she did also say that once Tana was signed, she could feel them both being completely different, distancing themselves. Jordan wasn't replying back to her. She said she would have to go through Tana to reach out to Jordan, that she would try to contact him all week long, and her last thing was to reach out to Tana and be like, have you heard from Jordan, because he's not calling me. And that, like she even said, is so unprofessional. And even if you don't, if you're busy that day, that's your client, that was her manager. Hit them back and be like, yo, super busy today, I'll call you back later. It's just being respectful. Nessa did say that during the time of Jordan not really replying back to her, Tana just being signed, she didn't want to think anything of it because both of them are like her friends. Jordan's her manager. These are both her first kind of YouTube friends. So she didn't want to like think negatively about them. And I totally understand that. Like I'm saying, she just sounds like such a sincere person and open and wanting to be there for people. That's what I got from this video. She said that a lot of her friends and her family were telling her like, no, he's going to drop you, be ready for when he drops you. Her family was saying, you know, like, he's now found someone who's more marketable, she's white. It's just so sad. And I want to also add to that, did he have other clients during this time? Was he able to have multiple clients? Because as of now, he definitely has multiple people. It's not just Tana, it's also Trisha and other people. So back then, was he only able to handle one person? Because if not, that's like, where was the issue here? Why could you not have Tana and Nessa? Because to be completely honest, they both kind of seem like the same person without the whole Tana being a piece of person, you know? I mean, they chill, they smoke. Tana's trying to make music. Let's hope that Nessa's music is definitely better than Tana's. But they seem like they could have been best friends and could have made some good content out of it. So it just leads me to ask, like, why did Jordan not want Nessa? And if we're being completely honest, the only reason that Tana is marketable is because she's white. Like, this girl is just completely wild and everyone's just like, oh, that's Tana. Like, there are so many other cooler people on YouTube that you could vibe with that's not Tana, that doesn't have a past of calling her friends the N-word and sleeping through her friends' surgeries. Like, okay, let's just not get me started with the light being shed on systemic racism. I think a lot of us right now are realizing the people around us that we thought were cool or were like kind of our friends, and they don't share the same beliefs. Not even beliefs, like just plain human rights. They don't understand that like some of us do. So it's hard, and she found this out way before a lot of us did with Tana. And like she says at the end of the video, it just wasn't the time back then to try to make a video about it. All the hate that she was getting from Tana fans and then from the Shane fans, and now is the time that people feel comfortable coming out and speaking about it. So when they do, you need to give them the platform and raise their voices. Going back to how I mentioned that she would have to go through Tana to get in contact with Jordan, the entire time Jordan was telling her that he was busy, he was going behind her back and telling the people that were around him how annoying she was. He was sick of her, he was gonna drop her, and Nessa was just like, maybe he is busy. And it just, this whole video was just so sad because she seems like such a genuine girl. I just want to be her friend. And then she mentions like she doesn't want to make friends anymore, and I totally feel that. And I'm like, the shot of me being her friend is gone out the window, but I'm still gonna try, girl. I'm still gonna try. After he dropped her, he would continue texting her, and she would be like, stop texting me, delete my phone number. And he was like, I'll come over, I'll bring a gift. And it's like, for what holiday? The holiday of being dropped by your manager that you thought you were friends with? What gift makes up for that? I want to know. After Tana got signed, she would start texting Nessa sometimes and be like, hey, like, I love you, what's going on? People are telling me you're talking about me. Nessa was just kind of like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Who? And Tana at one point was like, I'm just getting a bunch of tweets. So Nessa took it upon herself, went to Twitter, searched both of their names, and didn't see any tweets. And she told her that, and she was like, honestly, Tana, this is how I feel. So she went through explaining how she felt about everything, how she would try to set things up for them, and Tana would flake or she'd be asleep. And like I mentioned, it made me think back to, I think it was the MTV Unfiltered whatever that Tana was on, and Amari was getting nose surgery, and Tana was telling his mom, like, don't worry about it, you don't have to be there, I'll be there. And then cuts to the next day, and Tana's not there, his mom's there, and Tana slept through it. But also Tana's, I think, perfume or something dropped the same day. Nessa ended up even telling Tana, you know, like, all of your fans keep coming for me. And Tana was like, oh, I don't know what to do except for constantly say to spread positivity because that's what I'm for. And Nessa was like, I don't know, maybe tell them to like leave me alone. And I just couldn't help but chuckle at that text message because seriously, Tana, I mean, it's easy. Like, everyone does it in all their videos. When people report on what's going on YouTube, they always hopefully mention not to go and be mean to this person, leave comments to this person. And I guess that's my time to now say same thing for Tana. Don't go and bombard her with comments about the situation. All she needs to really do is address the situation, whether it's in public or just texting Nessa. And then just to throw in there, because Nessa does talk about it, after that whole conversation, a little bit after, Tana texts Nessa again. It was like, what the f, why are you talking about me? Every time we hang out, things seem fine, and then I hear you're talking about me. And it's just such high school stuff. I don't know how old they were when this all happened, because I think I just seen a video from Anessa and she's 23, so I mean, they could have been a little bit young, but still, this is such high school drama, honestly. Anyways, Nessa starts talking about all the YouNows and live streams that were coming out. She said that Colin and Natalia made one because they were part of the Trash YouTube channel, and I was like, hold up, what? I used to watch Natalia Taylor, and something happened. She made a video about something with a taxi driver, and I didn't actually watch her actual video, but I did watch a commentary video about it and I was like, oof, that doesn't sound good. So ever since then, I honestly stopped watching her videos. I can't remember what it was about, or I would tell you. I tried to find the video on her channel and I can't. I just didn't even know she was part of that trash channel. Nessa goes on to talk about this thing with Jordan and said that every time she talks about it, she cries, and it's so sad. She says that Jordan used to go around telling people that Nessa had schizophrenia. She was unpredictable, she was violent, and she also mentions, you know, why did Jordan think that using a mental illness would make people not like her? And honestly, because this whole thing makes not only Tana, but Jordan look like a bad person. But wow, Jordan, like schizophrenia, really, using a mental illness. At this point, I feel like Jordan needs to come out as well with an apology, if not publicly, but personally through a text message or a phone call or something to Nessa, because that's gonna stick with her probably forever. That was her YouTube manager, her first one at that. Jordan initially told Nessa that the reason he was dropping her was because he didn't have enough time. And then later on, he ended up saying it was because he wanted to find her a manager that got her better, is what she said. His exact words were, got her better. And she didn't really understand what he meant by that, because she felt like they did get each other. Like, not only was that her manager, but she felt like they were friends. They had a friendship. That's, I would say, probably why she introduced Tana to Jordan, because she thought, we're cool, like, nothing would come out of this. And wow, you know, I wonder, like, does she introduce friends that she has to managers of hers now? Because I would be so suspect of that. I'd be like, girl, no, I'm not gonna introduce you to my manager. You won't ever know his name. But then Nessa says that Jordan ended up switching her over to a new manager, and the new manager was black. So I guess in the end, maybe that's what he meant, that a black manager would get her better because he's black. And, you know, Jordan could probably try and say that that was not his intent, that's not what he meant, but boy, we know what she meant. So fast forward a little bit, it's October 2017. Tana and Nessa are friends, they're cool now, and Tana, she said, posted a photo. She thinks it was of her and Bella kissing, and she said under the comments, a lot of people were saying like, cringe, LOL. So she thought it would be kind of funny to comment as well, like, cringe, LOL. And I mean, sometimes I do see that. If I see it in my friends' posts, a lot of people are like, ooh, girl, I'll be like, okay, ooh, girl, we run it, like, okay. So I could see where Nessa was coming from. I also do think, like, I would have been like, cringe though, I'm not gonna say that about my friend, like, that's stupid. And she acknowledges it as well, that it was dumb of her to post that. But she also knew that after she did that, things weren't gonna go well. She texted Tana apologizing about it, and Tana said something kind of around the lines of like, the ball's in my court now. And Nessa was like, you know, I didn't feel good about that. I felt like something was gonna happen, and she said something definitely did happen after that. Tana took it to Twitter and just pretty much blasted Nessa on Twitter. She put some screenshots, I'll put them here because I got a couple. After that whole tweet rampage, then came the Shane Dawson goes through my phone video, and Nessa knew instantly, like, I'll probably be mentioned in the video, and nonetheless she was mentioned in the video. When that video drops, again, not only does she have Tana fans attacking her, she now has Shane Dawson fans attacking her, and that is just millions of people. It's sad. That video itself is just such a nasty concept. Like, you could make it funny, but instead they chose to go the nasty route and go through text messages. Like, Shane is a grown man going through a young lady's phone and going through text messages of her and another lady's, like, arguments. That's so weird. Like, and then he throws himself into this 19-year-old guy's drama. Like, what are you doing, Shane? Lastly, Nessa talks about the fact that all of this really took a toll on her. You know, probably wasn't just the whole Tana situation, other things probably too, living in California, but it was so heavy on her that she ended up in the hospital, and from there ended up moving back to Arizona. She goes on to talk about the fact that This is all pretty much microaggressions and gaslighting that she's seeing from Tana, and the fact that you don't have to go around saying the N-word to be racist. There's other forms of it, but like, damn, Tana's done that too. Like calling her best friend the N-word with the hard R's. Like, it's just like, Tana, you gotta better yourself, and just some Twitter threads is not gonna do it, girl. My heart hurts for Nessa. Even if she did play like some part of a role in this, it definitely was taken to a whole nother degree that it did not need to be. She looks like she's thriving now, so I'm happy for that. I just hope that you guys choose wisely on who you subscribe to, who you watch on YouTube, who you help make that coin. Her video did have a fundraiser connected to it, so I'll link her video down below as well if you guys want to watch the full thing. But thank you guys so much for watching. That is the end of this video. If you enjoyed watching, make sure you like down below, subscribe, click that bell to be notified when I post, and that is it. Peace out, guys.
I've seemed to prolong our existence, but I don't feel